Hello folks, welcome back to the channel. My name is Joel Duggan and we are in Minecraft today. We're kicking the week off, getting back into Westhill, working on the to-do list. Hopefully we're going to finish this up. I want to say this month, don't quote me on that, but like we're close. We're close to finishing up this project. It's been 4.5 years, so I'm excited to wrap things up. Speaking of a segment, there is a new episode of the Spawn Chunks out right now. You can find that on your favorite podcasting app and also on YouTube and Spotify for the video versions. The video version on YouTube is out right now. And we had a really good conversation, Johnny and I, yesterday talking about the Happy Ghast. I haven't had much time to mess around with them. I've played around with them in creative to get some screenshots for the title cards for the show. But Johnny spent an entire episode of his Survival Guide Season 3 collecting ghast, dried ghast, and turning them into gastlings and raising happy ghast and doing all that kind of stuff. So you can find that over on his YouTube channel, which is just youtube.com/pixelriffs with 2 Fs. And no E between the X and the L, PIXLRIFFS. And it's a really good episode. It's like 35 minutes long or something like that. In addition to the conversation that we had on the Spawn Chunks, where he kind of gave us some behind the scenes insights about what it was like to get them and move them around and use them and where, you know, we think the shortcomings are, that kind of thing. So it was a really good conversation. So check that out. It's for free. Favorite podcasting app, you can download it anywhere. And also I have in the editing hopper the latest episode of the Citadel Cafe, which is where Stephen and I talked about Andor seasons 1 and 2. I've already seen season 1 years ago, but Stephen watched 1 and 2 back to back. And then we also talked about the Predator Killer of Killers animated feature on Disney Plus. So that's coming on the Citadel Cafe, which is again available on your favorite podcasting app. So let's just dive right into Minecraft and see what we have left to do on the to-do list. So we didn't really move anything since I logged out last time. We are just here at the farm. I feel like this is a little close, but maybe not. We were working on, I think the last time we logged in, we were working on the duck pond or the road. Either way, this little pond is done, which is great. And we also finished up the road texture on the stone parts. We haven't really done any of the dirt parts, and this might be what I do today, because it's just as a continuation of where we kind of left off, right about, I'd say about here, with all the textures and stuff like that. And I feel like we could probably do a better job. I think I want this to turn into a dirt road. I think we can do a better transition. We'll probably take the transition a lot closer to this drop, and this drop is probably going to be a little bit wider, I think. So we'll work on that maybe. But then the other things that are left in the to-do list are, I think, the bee farm, which is right there, and then all the surrounding paths and stuff. So I haven't done any of the texture in here because I don't know what's going to change about this farm and the surrounding areas. Like we might have to bump this wall or something like that. So these are all just temporary borders. We look at this area here. So we'll have to figure out what's going on in there. And I don't have a design for that house in mind. So that's kind of something else we have to worry about. And of course, we've got the west side of the Spruce River needs some love and some diorite removal. So I'm looking forward to making this into a nice little waterfall, though. I think that'll be fun. Dan, good to see you. Mosaic Dream, hello, hello. Thanks for coming by. I know it's an earlier stream than usual. It is just after 10 o'clock in the morning for me. Normally I don't stream until 1 o'clock in the afternoon. But it's a holiday here in Canada. It is Canada Day. And I wanted to free up the rest of my afternoon. It's also going to be really warm today. So I thought I'd rather stream in the morning when it's cooler. And I'm experimenting with this. I feel like I might be able to stream more often if I was to stream earlier in the day. So I don't know what that really looks like because, of course, me having mostly a US audience, it's the middle of the workday. So I don't know how that really works. I'm an hour ahead of New York. So it's only just 9 a.m. or a little bit after on the Eastern Seaboard. Yeah, Dan, I knew it was warm. Pixelriffs was saying yesterday that it was warm here. Grumpus says it's 6 a.m. Nice. Yeah, I was up early at 6 this morning too. What am I looking for? Looking for the book. The book. Yeah. North Dirt Road, North Path. Spruce River Banks, West River Banks, the apiary or bee farm. Keep basement. We could try to do a little bit of moving around in the dirt, but I feel like I don't want to get distracted by other things I want to do on the server, so we'll probably keep it simple. So let's focus on what we've got going on here. Grab those. I really need to figure out my data pack stuff. I don't have the right wood data pack things that I need. I've got a funny feeling we're going to need more rooted dirt. That should be good. I guess we'll grab that too. I could try some dark oak. Don't know if we'd need this. My frame rate is absolutely abysmal today. I don't know why. Donaraf subscribing at tier 1. 8 months. That's amazing. Thanks so much, Donaraf. Really appreciate the support. 1 month away from the Fire Keystone badge. All right, that's that. Do we have more leaf litter? I don't know that we do. At least not out here. Gravel I've got. I'll bring some tough. I guess we're going to need all these things too. I'll come back for slabs if I need them. I might have to wait to do the mossy parts. My inventory will probably thank me later. Yes, yeah, I'm starting a good 3 hours earlier today, just because it's Canada Day and I wanted to free up the rest of my afternoon. As I mentioned, it's also going to be a warm day. Yeah, that's gross. Why am I getting such a low frame rate? Excuse me. That snuck up on me. I'm not running anything in the background that I don't need to be. I really didn't finish up the shaders here, did I? Or not the shaders, the texture. I do find in some shader packs it can make the ground look like plastic at certain times of day. It definitely feels like that with vibrant visuals. I wonder if it's going to be another week or so before we start getting snapshots for Java Edition. Something I've mentioned on the podcast is that I do plan on creating a snapshot world to explore vibrant visuals for Java Edition, because I'd like to kind of see how that comes together and develops. Plus, I think it'd be good to report back for that on the podcast. I should maybe start smelting more bricks. Yeah, I gave my Discord a heads up, Retro, but I was busy editing the Citadel Cafe podcast, and I forgot to give a heads up on Twitter and Blue Sky. Actually, that reminds me, I forgot to post on Instagram. Crap, hold on. I forgot. Sorry, I'll just copy the post on X. It's usually what I do. I'm all out of sorts because, of course, I normally don't stream until after lunch. I do like it. Like I feel like because in the summertime I tend to get up a little bit earlier, I also feel like I'm a little bit more alert. Whereas at 1 o'clock, I've already been up and working for 3 hours or more. Also, I tried to use a Canadian flag emoji on Blue Sky, I think, and it wouldn't let me. They didn't exist. So are the country flags as emojis not available on on like X and Blue Sky? It's odd. You'd think that they would be. We have, yeah, we only have a stack of those. Let's do 2 more stacks. We know we will go through them. Always pays to think ahead. I think I could use another trapdoor over here too. Try to work in some gravel over here too. Don't think I have any. Oh, there's some there. So I think I'd like to try to bring in a longer transition. So that likely means more stuff like this. And then I want to build this out as well, although I didn't bring any slabs. This is the thing I find really challenging. It'd be really cool to maybe find like an AI tool or something that would help you like do the dithering transition. It's so time consuming. Do it manually. You thought Java devs were going on holiday? Oh, are they? I don't know. I post to social media. I don't consume Twitter or Blue Sky very much. That might feel a little funny. I feel like we could probably knock this back. And that looks kind of weird, doesn't it? Solution there might be to put some sort of bush. Feels pretty good. And then we can add in maybe a little bit more of a grade down here. Oops. I feel like that maybe should go out here. I also want to make sure that I'm getting enough of the bricks down this far, and then we can kind of work our way backwards. You never thought about using trapdoors like that? So the way that I think about it is, you know, if it's a really well-traveled road and it's now been, you know, dirt, over time there might be weak parts in it and muddy parts in it. And I, just from like hiking trails around here, people will just go in and lay down planks, you know, lay down a board just to kind of reduce it. And then over time it just kind of gets smushed into the ground. Unfortunately, we can't really do it up here. Doesn't really work that way. Although I'd be curious to see. This feels like a really long change. I wonder if a stair would work good there. This just feels very straight. I guess I could knock this back. Sort of looks muddy as well, which is nice. And here's where I would probably use some carpet or something on another pass to spice this up a bit. Unfortunately, there's not many other textures we can use for slabs. I think I might actually switch that out. Yeah. Fox with a tood. Hello, hello. Welcome in. Thanks for the follow. Came over here as a suggestion from Pixel's channel. That's awesome. So I do the sponge chunks with Pixelriffs. I'm sure you probably know that, but that's the main gig. And then obviously I'm here quite a bit as well. Actually, let's put that over here. Don't know about that. I think we might be better off with acacia in some spots. You listen weekly. Fantastic. That's awesome. I really appreciate that. I feel like I need to reduce something here. This maybe needs to go out farther. So many texture possibilities. I feel like we need a couple of slabs. Stone slabs. Eco Tyrannus, hello, hello. Slab. Couple of those. Couple of those. Sorry, Eco Tyrannus. That's a big world in terms of having a medieval house design with a roof that goes almost to the ground. I mean, none of mine really do that. Maybe ChatGPT can help you out. So I feel like we need something over here. Not quite a stone, but maybe it's kind of even. Yeah, I've been messing around with some chat GPT stuff, image generation, and like saying like create this in a Minecraft style, you know, castle with a tower, that kind of stuff. It's not great. Like you're not going to get block for block instructions, but the cool thing about it is that you're probably going to see like a mishmash of other things, and so it's great for using it as inspiration. I also tell people to go to artstation.com and look up like concept art. Specifically, if you're doing medieval stuff with roofs, look up concept art for like strategy games, because the way that the camera is top down on those, the roofs are usually 3 times bigger than they should be, because that's how you recognize those buildings in those strategy games. Like this is your wheat mill, and this is your blacksmith, and this is your town hall, and they all have to be very easily identifiable by the roofs. So the roofs are ginormous because of like that top down 3/4 view. So if you find some concept art in that realm, then I feel like you're off to a good start. I don't know if I've done a good job of this or not. I feel like it's kind of even. I guess I could always punch more holes here. Oops. I always forget that mangrove goes the other way. It sort of helps. Those are pretty dark. Maybe I'm just not dealing with a big enough resolution. Also, I feel like some of these need to go over to the side. Feels like it sort of peters out, I guess. This might be too dark. Yeah, it's a little distracting. I think maybe we need something else in here. I guess we could also bring in some of the spruce wood too. Jumbo sale. Thanks very much. Just have to drop in to say hi because it's an early stream. Appreciate that. Hope you're well. I might actually make this one gravel. At this point, I feel like I can probably grab some moss. I think it's missing some edge work. I don't seem to be needing those, and I think I'm done with the slabs for now. Be careful with this one. I want this one to actually keep the grass. What I wouldn't give for moss slabs sometimes. Might have to do this tomorrow morning. The shadow kind of the wall is kind of covering what I want to do. I also like the idea of putting a pressure plate in here too. Maybe we'll move that a little bit closer. But pressure plates next to carpet don't look the best. I also need to think about a lantern for the front of this farm. What have I done for the other designs? I think they're pretty straightforward. I think it's just a regular street lamp. Oh, this one I incorporated it into the wall. Alright, that's a little bit more in line with what I wanted to do. So like 2 walls, fence, and 2 trapdoors. That's the street lamp design. That's really nice too. We've already got the blue one over there. Yeah, I feel like somewhere around right where that bush is, we should have a street lamp. Or a lamp for this particular space. I don't want it to be diagonally touching the wall though. Put it there. I think we'll use a mossy block. Yeah, and then maybe a brick and an andesite wall. It's a pain in the butt doing this kind of stuff with such a crammed inventory. And then it was 2 trapdoors and a fence post. Mikatu, hello, welcome in. Good to see you. I like it, but I think it has to go back a block. I guess I did need to delete both of those, but whatever. Yeah, that's better. And then maybe what we'll do is we'll add some more bushes and stuff around that, some grass. Yeah, still don't like this extra carpet here. Cool. This side looks like it was already mostly done. Looks like it might get closer into like a river biome or something. I think I probably did this before moss was in the game. Thinking about where it is and the style of the texture. I think this is something I did before we had more landscaping options. I feel like some of these could be roughed up even more. I guess one of these could be just a regular brick. Eco, thanks very much. I really appreciate the kind words. I've been working on it for a while, so it's a labor of consistency, I would say. It's really hard to put these things in together without making a grid. When you're working at a certain scale, I find even just a meter moving something really matters. You've been watching for 3 years. Wow. Yeah, you've definitely seen some progress. That's for sure. All right, well, since we've got a fresh day and there's not going to be any mobs spawning, I'm going to take a short break. I do this about once an hour. It gives me a chance to refresh my coffee, grab another glass of water. You should too. And let people know that we're streaming. It's always fun to share the word around. I really appreciate everybody being here. And I'll be back in just 5 or 6 minutes. Good chance to get up, stretch. I will be right back. All right. I think I'm going to ditch all of the stone just to free up some inventory space. Keep the gravel. Keep some of this. Don't think we're going to need slabs. These are probably done now too. And that means we can grab some bushes, ferns, grass, and bone meal. I think that should be it. I might want to grab a couple of bushes too. I don't know what those bushes are. They look like azalea. Oh, boo! Thanks very much. Appreciate that. Good to see you. Hope you're well. Actually, those look like oak bushes. Yeah. Oh, come on. think that looks pretty good. You know, I kind of like it being low. MindTripMedia with 100 bits. Thanks very much. Appreciate that. I think here is where I want to put in something a little bit more bush-like. No, maybe not that one. A little carpet. Yeah, that light really helps, I think. I almost want to have like a sign on it or something. Can you attach? I don't think we can attach hanging signs to fence posts. Well, fence posts. Can we do it to walls? I think we. I don't remember. I don't think we can. This might not look great with the lantern right above it, but we'll see. Oh, you can't do it. That's annoying. I guess I could. Well, no, it would hover, right? I guess it sort of looks like it's hanging from the lantern. I mean, that's not the best. I wonder if not quite. It would work if the trapdoor. Well, it would work if we had another trapdoor. Although that feels kind of long. I'll have to think about that, see what I can come up with. So I think the thing to do here is going to be to come up with where we want our gray sort of rocks to be. And I feel like I might want to move this one off to the side a bit. Yeah. Yeah, there's no moss along here at all, which means to me that this was before we added the concrete powder, before moss was actually in the game, I think. Then over here we did that a few weeks ago, so that makes sense. I might actually want to put that in that space there. Yep. And then we'll switch these. Man, weird frame stutter today. Should maybe take a look at this path over here for inspiration. Mostly the darker blocks on the edges. Yeah, it's starting to work. It's not a huge change, but it really helps, I think. Also, because this was done before moss, we can come in here with a carpet and kind of give that a harder edge. Although sometimes I always want to do this. I always seem to want to do this next to a pressure plate. And I like the pressure plate, but I just, when these things are next to each other, it looks kind of funny. There it is. Yeah, that works. Obviously, we didn't have the bushes either. Maybe we should switch those. Cool. Yeah, this path is going to come together a lot faster, I think. I mean, there's less to do, which is nice. I do also try to cue people to head in a certain direction. So sometimes it's nice to put some lighter blocks near the entrance of a path. Hey, Daddy Death, welcome back. What are we up to today? We are working on putting in the final texture for this north road. I think we're only going to get to the bridge. We might get a little bit beyond that. But then we can also come up in here and work in here as well, because this is missing some textures. That feels pretty good. It feels like the road kind of moves around. It sort of feels like a combination of dirt being tracked onto the brick road and then the brick road kind of breaking down a little bit. I feel like one way works better than the other, which is fine. I don't know if I can get away with a darker block there or not. That works okay. I mean, actually, I could probably switch those. I wonder if, because the spruce wood's got a little bit of green in it. Yeah, that works a little bit better. Probably do more of that spruce again. So here it feels a little bit strange. So what might help us out here is actually going with some carpets. Again, these didn't exist when these bushes were being made, I don't think. Mosaic Dream had so many build ideas bouncing around in my head that I decided to make a to-do list to keep it all straight. Turns out my brain was making it seem more involved than it actually was. Yeah, I find that too as a creative person, that when you have a lot of stuff going on, especially when I was writing comic strips and drawing comic strips. I used to keep all of my ideas in a note file, and I would just write them down as they came. But then as I would go through and hone it like once a week, you'd end up with like, oh, I kind of wrote that joke twice, and you can combine them, and you realize that you're overwhelmed with like a dozen ideas, and really you only have about like 7, you know? And then out of those 7, 3 of them are good. Daddy Des says, I'm on a mini break from playing Minecraft. So many games are only $1 for the Steam summer sale, so I've been playing through a lot of them. Oh, that's really cool. What are you playing on Steam? I haven't actually checked out the Steam summer sale. There's probably some stuff I should buy. I know that, oh, it's a very similar game to Stardew Valley. I don't know if I like it, but it's cheap. It's like 14 bucks on sale. Tales of something? I can't remember. I think what we're missing through here is like a gravel piece or something. Oh, that pushes a lot of it onto the side. Maybe even put that over here. Yeah, that sort of looks like falling bits. Maybe we could even do a button. Yeah, I like that. Looks like pieces of the wall have fallen off, maybe. Feels like there's something missing over here. I almost want another texture. So now we're getting into this part, and I feel like this part we could maybe have more of these trapdoors going on. Yep, I think we need to go get some more wood planks and things. Change up the inventory a little bit. I have to sleep here in a second anyway. Grandpa, anybody know the game that Joel is speaking of? I have a weird need to know now. You can look it up. Hold on. I think it was in my inbox. Now I'm steering. Whoop! Trying to use my phone and steer the mouse at the same time. Let me just see here. I don't think I deleted the email. Maybe I did. Steam. Found it. Fields of Mystria. Fields of Mystria. Normally $18 Canadian, and it's on for $14.39. I've heard good things, but then I didn't like Citadel Valley, so. Yep. Yeah, that's what it was, Grandpa. That's what it was. I don't think there's anything else on my Steam list that I was really interested in that's on sale. I think we're done with the andesite. I'm out of mangrove wood. I should go get some more mangrove wood. Really low on mangrove wood. I don't think there's anything else in here that I need. Be good. What I really need before I wrap things up here in this area is more shulker boxes. There might be a little bit of a break from Westhill to go fight the dragon and open up some more portals. So I feel like this area would probably be reinforced a little bit, you know? That's the idea anyway. just unfortunate that we don't have more textures in the slabs to work in. Guess I could do planks over here too. What I would really like to do, maybe just to split this up, let's just sink this in. Although maybe we do the reverse. That's a bit better. Whoops. Yeah, I feel like that's working. I feel like I've got this going backwards. That feels a bit better. I feel like the edge of this was steering us that direction, and really you kind of want there to be like a subtle turn in this direction. Kind of ease you towards the tower and the fork in the road. Sometimes it's nice to highlight blocks in the direction that you think you want people to go. Again, too bad we don't have any different slabs. You enjoyed Sunhaven more than Stardew. More of an easy game to grasp. Oh, interesting. Sunhaven. I'm not sure if I'm familiar with that one. I feel like I want to go get some stairs. Sometimes breaking the grid is a really effective way of making changes. Let's just ditch these. I don't think we're going to be using these. May or may not work next to the trap door. Oh, those are not. All right. No, it's up here. That's what I wanted to do, is up here. Yeah, that works. Maybe even just one. Yep. Just little things. Same thing here. Now we just need to break this up a bit. Now maybe I'll move this back. Sure. always find it weird when you've got like a carpet next to a corner edge like that. It always looks a little bit funny to me. So I feel like the texture up there is more complicated than it is down here because of the limit that we have. With the slabs. No, that's too much. You do sort of shoot yourself in the foot sometimes when you have custom textures like the custom coarse dirt slab. You find you end up wanting more. Whoops. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah. How's the experience coming into the valley? There's a little bit more dark stuff on this side. Maybe that just needs to switch. Yeah, that's all right. I'm wondering if this could be replaced. Yeah, it's a little bit distracting. I'm all right with that. I don't know if I have too much wood down here. That's good. Gonna walk back and forth a couple times. Yeah, that feels, you know, reinforced, I think, constructed on purpose. So now I think next time we'll have to work on the path. Get rid of some of this stuff here. Probably these first. Shulker box is getting close to full again. You found a blocked off tunnel portal. Going through the portal spawned me in a geode with no return portal. The return portal is probably just nearby. You might have to mine through the geode. All right. I feel like we've done pretty well. This feels pretty natural. I feel like going in this direction really kind of transitions nicely from the stone, or from the dirt to the stone. I don't know if this feels like it's transitioning just as smoothly going this way. I guess it does. I think it's because the dirt reads as closer to you. So the dirt feels like it's on top of the stone. Whereas going this way, yeah, it still feels like it's on top of the stone, but that means the texture is like coming towards you. I feel like I want to do 2 more slabs there. I want to see what I'm doing. So one thing about shaders when it rains is it becomes very hard to do any real texture work. feels better. Maybe we'll switch these. Yep. I feel like it's just enough texture to keep it interesting, without being too overwhelming. Yeah. Feels pretty good to me. Oh, it's from a few years ago, Mosaic Dream? Yeah, I mean, who knows? This is done pretty well. I'm not in love with that dark oak, or dark oak block. Nope. Again, I think this was done before we had rooted dirt in the game. Or packed mud, for that matter. The hard part in here is that it's a taiga biome, so we can't use the moss in the way that I always use it to border the path. Although we've been using, it looks like we've been using some mushroom block, which is cool. Brown mushroom. Yeah, I'm not sure about the path block here. This is where I think the mangrove looks better than the dark oak. Again, probably textured before we had mangrove. Difficult with the shadow of the tree, but I think that looks a little bit better. Yeah. Get some out of concrete powder. Oh no, there it is. Yeah. Cool. So next time what we'll end up doing is probably working on more of this. I mean, this looks okay, but obviously right about here, it just kind of peters into very, very basic stuff. And then we don't have a nice gradual thing. I mean, we can walk up this no problem. Like, it's got slabs and stairs, but it's not at all decorated in any way. And what I want to do is I want to make that path. The top part here looks fine, but the incline there, the climb up to the top of the ridge, I want it to look like this over here. I feel like this one is all finished and looks good. You know, like you've got some rocks on the side, you've got logs and planks and moss and stairs and roots and things. And so that I feel like looks a lot better and more natural. And you can still walk up it, which is great. So we'll do that with the next one. But I think that's where we're going to wrap things up today. We have one more thing checked off, which is fantastic. And we can always move on to this north part. I think this is probably what we'll end up doing tomorrow, just because it is fresh in my mind, and cool opportunity for like a custom route from that tree and stuff like that. But you can see the moss does not work very well in here, so we're going to have to come up with probably some bushes and different ways to do things. But coming into the valley now, I think everything except for the water, like the other side, but everything you can see from here is done, which is awesome. Yeah, like I didn't even notice it. Like that transition feels pretty natural. Fox with the Dude, thanks very much. Appreciate it. I am going to pass everybody on. I believe Pixel Riffs is streaming now. Dan, you can give me a heads up. I believe that was the plan for Pix. So we are going to send you all over to my co-host on the Sponge Chunks podcast. I'm sure you will have a good time there. Take a bird's eye view here. So there's the transition from stone to dirt. And then the texture along the path, and then the transition from the bridge down. Yeah. Okay, cool. Thanks, Dan. Appreciate that. We'll take a look and see who's streaming then. Yeah, I feel like that works. I might want to add a couple more speckles of dirt heading this way, like stuff that's been, you know, traipsed in each direction. And then, of course, we have all of this in here to do, but that's, of course, that's all linked to the bee farm. So, all good. Anyway, let me just pop over and see who I'm following. That's live on Twitch right now. Not many playing Minecraft. Rendog's live. Oh, Megabyte's live. Let's send y'all over to Megabyte. They are a fantastic, cozy creator. Adult language if you have a small human on your lap, but other than that, they are absolutely lovely. Not that there's anything wrong with adult language. We're all adults. And I will see you tomorrow, 1 o'clock Atlantic. That's UTC minus 3 hours. I need to look this up. I keep on getting this wrong. Atlantic time zone in UTC. It is 4 hours. UTC minus 4 hours. Okay, cool. So I should be back at the regular time. I don't think I'm going to stream early tomorrow. If I do, I will let people know. Usually Twitter or my Discord is how you do that. If you want to join the Discord, it's patreon.com/JoelDuggan. It is $2 a month, which is less than a cup of coffee at Starbucks. And it really does help me stream more often. So if you're thinking about joining the Discord, then consider that. Other than that, you can, of course, follow the free content that I do on other channels like Joel Duggan VODs, which has got everything that I've done in Westhill. It's all there on the Joel Duggan VODs channel. And you can also follow the Sponge Chunks podcast, which is all about Minecraft. A new episode is out yesterday. That's episode 356, talking about happy ghasts, as well as some vibrant visuals emails. And we also have an upcoming episode of the Citadel Cafe coming out the tubes. And that is hopefully going to be out today or tomorrow. And that's going to be about Andor and Predator, the animated Predator Killer of Killers that was on Disney Plus. So thanks very much, folks. I will see you all tomorrow. Bye for now.